Hey everyone, it's Argonath here from Return of the Fan, and I got a very interesting article today about a series show called Y: The Last Man. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of this before. It's not a very widely well-known show. It's been out on Hulu, which is a streaming service in America. I first came across this series last year when I read some articles about it, and I didn't have a YouTube channel back then, so obviously I didn't make any videos about it. But this came across today, and I thought I should mention this because it might be something you could be interested in having a laugh at. So, Y: The Last Man has been cancelled at FX on Hulu. In its first season, it's into its seventh episode, I think, and it's been cancelled before the end of the season. You might be wondering what's going on here. Is it a really rubbish show or something? So let's have a read about this particular show if you don't know about it. The story of Yorick Brown will remain unfinished for now. Could be picked up by another channel afterwards. Y: The Last Man has been cancelled at FX on Hulu, executive producer Eliza Clark announced via Twitter on Sunday. We have learned that we will not be moving forward with FX on Hulu for season 2 of Y: The Last Man, Clark wrote. I have never in my life been more committed to a story, and there is so much more left to tell. It's the most collaborative, creatively fulfilling, and beautiful thing I've ever been a part of. We don't want it to end. Well, why are you ending it then, Clark? Eliza Clark, why are you ending it? Why is Hulu ending it? Can only be one reason. The ratings for the show must suck, right? It must suck really badly for it to be cancelled while it's still airing, not after it's finished airing, because you'd think that if you mention the show is going to be cancelled while the show is still airing, then people will stop watching it because they think, oh, well, what's the point of watching it? It's not going to get to a good conclusion anyway. We'll get to actually what the show is about a bit later on in the article here. It seems really weird that she's going like, I've been more committed to the story, and it's the most collaborative and creative thing ever, and it's very beautiful that we've been a part of, but yeah, we're actually going to cancel it. What the hell? Although the series will not continue at the streamer, Clark expressed hope that the show will find a new outlet. Well, who's going to pick it up considering that you've just cancelled it before the show season actually finishes? FX has been an amazing partner. We have loved working with them, and we're sad the show is not moving forward at FX on Hulu. Oh, actually, maybe it's FX that have cancelled it and not Hulu. But then Hulu could just pick it up anyway if they really wanted to, right? If FX was the channel that's cancelling it, Hulu could say, hey, we'll give you the money, keep it going. There's no reason why that couldn't be done. So it just seems a bit of virtue signalling here by Hulu and Eliza Clark. But we know that someone else is going to be very lucky to have this team and this story. We're committed to find why its next home. Well, why don't you just fund it? Why doesn't Hulu just fund it then, eh? I wonder why not. I really hope it makes a second season and goes on to lose money on another channel. That would be really awesome. Actress Amber Tamblyn, who plays Kimberly Campbell Cunningham, also took to Twitter to comment on the unfortunate news. While I'm disappointed, I know this extraordinary show that has so much to say will find a great new home soon. Looking forward to the next chapter. If you're with me, let the world know. Oh, if you love this show, you better get on to Twitter, get on to Facebook, and tell everyone how much you love this show. Keep it going, everyone. Adapted from the comic book of the same name by Brian K. Vaughan and Pia Guerra, Y: The Last Man followed what happened after a cataclysmic event decimates all but one cisgender male. Why do you have to say cisgender? Why don't you just call it one male? Well, through the term one cisgender male, we can get an inkling about what this show is all about. So one cisgender male, Yorick Brown, and his pet monkey. The guy's name is Ben Schnetzer, and his claim to fame is being in Warcraft. The Warcraft movie. Amazing. According to the show's official description, the series follows the survivors of this brand new world as they struggle to cope with their new existence in hope of restoring what was lost and building something better. So basically, all people with Y chromosomes, essentially all males, have been wiped out of existence except for this one dude who we don't know why, but I assume part of the show will be telling us why he didn't get wiped out. And so it's basically women take over all levels of power through the government, big business, corporations and stuff, and their struggle to make things happen. So it sounds like an interesting premise, but the way they've done it apparently is just really, really crappy, and it ends up being just really trash. And this is why it ends up being really trash. This is not the first time in 20 years I've seen Yorick and Co. escape the seemingly inescapable, Vaughn wrote on Instagram. I love the show and I'm very hopeful why we'll find a new home, not just because it happens to employ more extraordinary women, people of colour, and members of the LGBTQ plus alphabet community, both in front and behind the camera, than any project I've ever been a part of, but because they've made something spectacular, the kind of thoughtful, contemporary, fearless evolution of the comic that Pia Guerrera and I always wanted. So this is one of the creators. Right? If it was so amazing, why are they cancelling the show? I wonder. The remaining season 1 episodes will continue to drop on Mondays via FX on Hulu, with the season finale set to begin streaming on November 1st. So we can start to see why no one watches the show, because apparently it is the wokest show ever in history on television, right? So let's have another. So let's go to the actual creator, Brian K. Vaughan. He did some put some posts on Instagram about this. We have learned that we will not be moving forward with FX on Hulu for season 2 of Y the Last Man. I've never in my life been more committed to a story, and there is so much more left to tell. Y the Last Man is about gender, about how oppressive systems inform identity. We had a gender-diverse team of brilliant artists led by women at almost every corner of our production. Producers, writers, directors, cinematographers, production design, costume design, stunt coordination, and more, and everything. It is the most collaborative, creatively fulfilling, and beautiful thing I've ever been a part of. We don't want it to end. It's so diverse that all of the team is all led by women. There's no men anywhere in there, so obviously not that diverse, really, is it? If it's all led by women. If it was really diverse, you'd have a mix of women and men, wouldn't you, Brian K. Vaughan? Bit surprising there. But you can just see from that second paragraph why it is trash and people don't like it. It's about gender, about how oppressive systems inform identity. What the hell does that actually mean? Right? Who would want to watch a show like that? Just talk about the show, talk about the characters, what they have to go through. That's what people are interested in. That's what they relate to, not their gender, whether they're gay or bi or cisgendered or whatever. Who gives a shit? We're interested in their actual characters and what they actually go through. He posted something else up here. Some expected hard news about Y the Last Man, just posted about a showrunner. Some unexpected, I should say. But this is not the first time in 20 years I've seen Yorick and Co. escape the semi-inescapable. I love the show and I'm very hopeful Y will find a new home, not just because it happens to employ more extraordinary women, people of colour and members of the LGBTQ plus community, both in front of and behind the camera, but no men, obviously. Men aren't allowed. That's not diverse. They're not part of the diverse group of people, obviously. Than any project we've been part of, but because they've made something spectacular, the kind of thoughtful, contemporary, fearless evolution of the comic that Pia Guerrera and I always wanted. These next 3 episodes are the very best of the season. Yeah, that's what you say. You're the creator. So please keep watching, and if you want to see this journey continue as much as I do, we encourage you to let the world know. Oh my God. We don't get Hulu here. I'm in New Zealand, so we don't get Hulu here, and I wouldn't watch this show anyway, because it's all about gender and how oppressive systems inform identity. We want shows to take us away from our real life. We get all of this gender crap in our real lives already. We don't want that in our shows. That's probably why this show is absolute trash, and it doesn't have the ratings to justify doing a second season. Have you actually watched Y the Last Man? If you have, I'd really love to know what your take on it is. Put them in the comment section. If you like it, that's perfectly fine. I mean, it's not something that I'm interested in, as you can probably tell. But you know, everyone's entitled to like what they like. So I'd be really interested to see what you do like about it, seeing as you've watched it and I haven't. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give me a thumbs down. If you like my content, then please subscribe. It just helps the videos to get noticed by the YouTube algorithm. and hopefully I will see you in the next video.